All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Hot Takes. This conversation is very self serving. I'll explain in a second. When I work with clients on their social media, whenever they ask me what platforms they should be on, I give them the exact same advice that I was given when I first started creating my brand. Pick the platforms that you use regularly. There are two reasons why. One, you're going to make better creative decisions because you know what those platforms are like. You know how you experience them as a consumer, so you know what direction to take with your content and your material. Number two, if you're already using these platforms, a successful social media strategy requires just as much engagement as it does content creation. So you want to be on those platforms commenting on other people's profiles. You want to be driving forward the conversation with the content that you create as well as the comments that you leave. So that's why, for the last 2 years, I've concentrated on Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are the platforms that I know. And then I started looking at Facebook. Technically, I have McEwen Media has a profile on Facebook, but I've never engaged it. So years ago, I clicked a tab, and now everything that I share on Instagram automatically goes to the McEwen Media Facebook page. So I've been sharing content there, but I haven't been actively engaging that community. And when I met my next guest, I started questioning, well, why am I not engaging this community? Because the numbers are kind of staggering. A recent statistic I found, every month there are 4 billion with a B meta users. So that's Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Half the world's population every month is using those three platforms, and I'm only active on two. So let's get started. I want to learn more about how to use Facebook for business because there are some clear and obvious blocks, which if you're around the same age and Facebook was your first social media platform, chances are you have the same blocks. So if you've been sleeping on this platform, this is the conversation for you. So my guest today is Emily Dawn, a lead generation strategist who helps established coaches and consultants generate consistent leads daily without the need for Facebook ads. So you speak in my language. She specializes in organic marketing on Facebook. She's your go-to expert for all things social media marketing, helping you grow your business authentically and effectively. So please welcome Emily Dawn.
So excited to be here and give some insight on the Facebook world. Thrilled to be here.
Yeah, I mentioned in the intro, like I've been sleeping on Facebook with good reason. Like Facebook was the first social media account that I had. So I've always associated it with like poke wars and just sharing things with friends and family. So as a business owner and also the face of the business, I'm constantly juggling the personal and the professional side. What is this persona in the personal space and what is the persona in the professional space? And I could clearly make that distinction. Like on LinkedIn, it's obvious. On Instagram, because I have different, like I have my personal account, the business account, and then the dog has an account. So I had already made that leap of having different personas on the platform, but I've never made that leap with Facebook. So I want to learn more about then why you have concentrated your energy and attention on this platform.
Yeah, so as you said, a lot of people, especially in the business space as well, still have the thought of this is for staying connected with relatives that are out of the country, or to see my high school friends, to find out about the next reunion, a 20-year reunion, or
Absolutely.
things like that. But when it comes to the business space, I say like it's a world that you don't know. But then once you get into the Facebook business world, it's like, I didn't even know this world existed.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's one of those things, it's like from the outside, it's very much a platform that is looked at as like an old platform, the old way of doing social media.
Mhm,
But when you get into the business space of it, you realize also the potential of it. So I think
mhm,
one of the great differentiating factors between Facebook, and let's compare it to those two other platforms you
mhm.
mentioned, Instagram and LinkedIn. You're right, LinkedIn is very clear about the objective.
Yep.
It's very professional, and that's the kind of connections you expect from LinkedIn. With Instagram, it's set up in, I would say, more of a content creator, influencer kind of format, where you have the choice to follow someone or be followed, but it doesn't have to be a mutual connection.
Mhm.
What makes Facebook unique in the way it's connecting you with potential clients or customers, depending on your business, is that if you're utilizing a personal profile, it's a friend request, meaning
Mm.
if I send it or they send it, one of us, both of us technically have to decide and agree that we're going to be connected. On
Mhm.
Instagram, I can choose to follow somebody and they don't have to follow me back.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's like I'm a follower of them. And it's kind of like you're not necessarily on the same level. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily a mutual connection. But with Facebook, it's like I'm agreeing to see your content, you're agreeing to see my content, which
Mhm.
already makes it more of a relationship that you're
Yes.
building just in the initial way you're actually connecting with people.
Yeah.
So I would say that's a huge differentiator. And then when I think about LinkedIn, when people are thinking, oh, what if my target audience is professionals? Isn't
Mhm.
LinkedIn the obvious choice? But then you think about, wait, but don't these professionals also have a personal life?
Mhm.
And where are they spending their time for their personal life? Where are they connected with the people that are closest to them, the friends
Mhm.
and the family? Often that place is Facebook.
Mhm.
So when we think about the way we can leverage Facebook, I really see it as like the strongest social media platform we have
Yeah.
for relationship building
Yes.
because of the way it's formatted and also the purpose in which it was created. It was
Mhm.
created to keep us as friends
Yeah.
digitally.
There are
So,
there are two really important points that you raised. One is the power of opting into content. Opting into, I agree to get regular updates. We know this from, I'm thinking of email strategies, email and building your list that way. There is something when it comes to determining success on your social media platform, understanding how your audience is using those tools is the most important part. So you're right. Instagram, I find Instagram and TikTok are the same energies where it's a passive um, washing over of the material. There's not a whole lot of engagement there. LinkedIn is almost too formal. Facebook is this beautiful space in between where you can allow more of your personality. It is more of a personal space because you're right with consultants and coaches. Sometimes the product that we're offering, it's deeply personal. I'm
yeah.
very aware that the service that I offer, it's an investment of time, it's an investment of money, but it's also an investment of your self-image and creative expression. So the
Mhm.
people who are my qualified leads, they need time sometimes to make that decision and get comfortable with this decision. And because I work very collaboratively with people, I need them to be willing participants when we start getting ready. If I'm still convincing them that this is the right choice for them while we're already working together, we're wasting precious, valuable time. So I've always been, in the last couple of months, I've been looking for that third space, right? In Instagram, I can really set up my personality. So I always think of Instagram as when people are researching me, when they're Googling McEwen Media to see if I'm the right fit, my personality shines through on Instagram. So that is how it's
Mhm.
delivering key information for people who are qualified leads. LinkedIn is where I'm getting a lot of referrals and collaborators. So not necessarily direct business, but a lot of indirect stuff. Facebook, and the more that I talk to you, I'm realizing, oh, this is this beautiful third space that I need to explore some more. So using McEwen Media as an example again, so I have a business page. So that was like the first step to separate from, Tara McEwen with my, early aughts Facebook memories showing up. So what are some of the key tools that businesses should have to start using Facebook as a lead generator?
Yeah, so the way I talk about Facebook and how to optimize it to the best of its lead generation abilities is the three channels, is what I call it, which is Facebook business page, Facebook personal profile, and Facebook group.
Okay.
So those are the three kind of formats that you can show up on Facebook, all connected to one profile. So I have my Facebook group, which is Ambitious Women Entrepreneurs and Coaches. I have my Facebook page, which is my name, Emily Dawn, but then I have my personal profile, which is also Emily Dawn. Now, my biggest following is in my Facebook community, but as of 2024, my best reach is on my personal profile on Facebook.
Okay.
Now, the lowest performing in terms of organic marketing is almost always going to be your Facebook business page. The reason why is Facebook business page is the area of Facebook in which you run Facebook ads. So when you think about it from Facebook's perspective, why would they give you great organic reach, show your content to everybody that's following your Facebook page when they have a section called Facebook ads to pay them to do that?
Yes.
So that's why, I mean, in a very simple way of saying it, that's why your organic marketing isn't working the best on a business page, because it wants you to use the system of Facebook ads to push out that content.
Yeah.
Now, this is what's interesting. The personal profile, it used to be not allowed to be used for business. I guess you could say it like that. There were some guidelines around utilizing personal profiles for business because they want you to keep your business on the business page so you can run Facebook ads, and they don't want you to have great organic reach, because they want you to pay Facebook ads. So for a while, it was like Facebook was kind of, I guess you could say, like against the users that were trying to utilize it for business. But this is just my opinion. I think Facebook realized there's so many people that are doing it. There are so many people that are getting great results doing it. Let's come on their side instead of fighting them. And they released this thing called professional mode. So now you actually can change your Facebook personal profile into professional mode, which now allows you to see analytics on your personal profile. Before, there was no dashboard of analytics, because why would you care about personal Facebook friends or family, how many likes or comments you get, right?
Yeah.
When it's a business, it does matter about how things are performing, your reach, and all these things. And then it came out with other things like where you can earn, like stars by posting reels. So it really came on the side of business owners and saying, okay, instead of going against you, we're going to go for you and actually encourage you to use it for business in this way. Also, there's a 5,000 friend maximum on your personal profile. That is still a thing, but with the professional mode, people are still able to follow you on your personal profile. So even though you're at the 5,000 max, people can still follow you. So I have around 6,000 or 7,000 friends or followers, but my actual mutual connections are under 5,000, because that's still a limitation.
Okay.
And then your Facebook group is a bit different because it's not completely owned by you. I mean, it is owned by you, but it's a community feel, right? There's multiple contributors. It's usually not just the hostess contributing, although you could set that as a setting. So those are the three channels that you want to make sure you have optimized. I encourage everybody to have each one, but it's important to have the Facebook page, business page set up, even if you're doing organic marketing, because if and when you decide to run ads, you don't want it to be a brand new page. Because think about this. You're wanting to buy a product of some sort. Oh, you see this. I don't know why I'm thinking of like a journal or a planner or some sort of thing for the new year, let's say. And then you click on it, the ad that you've just seen, and you see that their first post was 2 weeks ago. They have no likes, no followers on their page. I'm probably not going to put my credit card or debit card information into that when it's like a new page. So even if you don't think you're going to run ads, I always encourage people to have it at least existing there, so that if and when you do run ads, it has some history with Facebook, as well as any customers or clients that come your way can see, oh, they've been in business for 2 years, posting consistently for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're established,
Yeah.
not, oh, they just started last week.
Yeah. I love the picture that you're painting of these three different platforms. I bring everything down to, well, this is now a TV show. And I think if you want to succeed in digital marketing in the digital space today, you do want to start thinking of your content as if it's a television show, because TV has spent decades perfecting audience psychology. So here is, because to me, it's all about like you have these platforms as a guide to the audience to see the full value of what you offer. So the personal page is the star. Like, well, I'll use Kelly Clarkson as an example. So the personal page is, this show is hosted by Kelly Clarkson. Everything that you love and know about Kelly Clarkson, that is the content that you create on your personal page. You've got people who are close contacts with you, and then you have your followers. The group is the guest stars, right? The actual content of the show that has people watching it from start to finish every single day. So it's the guest stars, it's her covers, it's this consistent content that gives weight to Kelly Clarkson as the star. The business page, because every show needs commercial breaks. And I think every business, I'm also a huge fan of like, lean into your organic marketing first. Make sure the free stuff, if your free stuff isn't attracting an audience, your paid stuff is not going to attract an audience. So the free stuff, lead with organics first, but then the ads are, a little secret weapon. And again, like, commercials only exist in the greater context of a TV show, right? You sit through a commercial break, you appreciate commercial breaks because you're watching the full show. And to your point too, like an ad that doesn't have a real business, a real personality that is active and engaging behind it, all trust has gone out the window. You can lose someone's trust so quickly in the social media space without one of these assets. So, I mean, honestly, as soon as this conversation's done, I'm totally revamping my Facebooks, because I could never create that connection between my personal presence, which again goes back to like 2005. Like, I was one of the original. As soon as they left Harvard, I was one of the first people to sign up on Facebook. Having seen these all connect, I am now seeing Facebook as this great middle space where it's and it can still be the same content that I share on Instagram, but now I'm seeing the challenges that I have with the business page, why that isn't working and why the group wasn't working, but now I know how to bring them all together. So I just needed a moment to process that, because to me this is brand new information. Like, it's one of those things you read about these strategies, and I hear about these things, and I'm like, I guess this all works together. But it wasn't until you were like, well, this piece is this piece is that, and this piece is the other thing, that I started to piece together how it can all come together. So my next question, because I keep comparing this space to how many people use their email newsletter. So what is the advantage then to nurturing your leads on Facebook in addition to your email?
Yes. So I definitely say in addition to.
Okay.
So my main email list builder is my Facebook group.
Okay.
So as I've built my community, I've also built my email list. So a lot of people that are connected with me on my Facebook personal profile or group are also on my email list. So I always say the more connected you can get with the same leads, the better, because there's more opportunity for them to be nurtured faster. If you think about the example, people say like, oh, it takes this many connection points before they're ready to buy or something like that. Let's say your number is 12. So it takes 12 connection points. If they're connected with you, let's say just on your Facebook personal profile, they're just a Facebook friend and they don't go on Facebook every day. And maybe you don't even post every day. How long is it taking for them to reach those 12 connection points? Versus, let's say that same lead is connected with you on your email list, on your Instagram, your Facebook friend, Facebook group, and you can be putting out the exact same content in all those different formats, but maybe one day they only check their email. So they only saw you post on your Instagram, your Facebook page, your Facebook person profile, but they only saw the email. Then another day, they never checked their email, but they saw the notification from Instagram come in.
Mm-hmm.
So the opportunity to connect and nurture, it can double, triple, quadruple, depending on how many connection points you have with that same lead.
Mm-hmm.
So think about how you can get better connected. The difference between nurturing your email list and nurturing on Facebook can be a matter of process. The way I see an email list is typically you're doing broadcasts. So it's you some kind of speaking out to a majority. Yes, you're going directly in their inbox, but it's not directly catered to them. With Facebook, you can do that same concept with content. I see email and content very similarly. You're posting, everybody can see it. It's to everybody. With the DMs, it is direct. It is specific, it is personalized or can be personalized. As long as you're not sending the same message to everyone, you're having direct communication. And of course, when you get more personal, the faster you're going to be able to build relationships. And relationships equal trust. And we all know, like, trust is what everybody talks about. It's true that trust is necessary for somebody to be able to invest in you. So if you think about lead generating or lead nurturing as trust building, think about how do you build trust in your relationships or your friendships? By having conversations, by getting to know people. I'm not going to build trust in somebody that I never have spoken with, right? I'm just seeing somebody across the street. I don't trust them. If they're speaking on stage, maybe I don't even trust them. Maybe they have a lot of information and good information, but how do I know I can trust them? Is through building a relationship. So just like you build trust in friendships and relationships, same thing in the online space. It's not any different. So having the lead nurturing process of not just putting out content. A lot of people do that. Put out content, hoping that the right people come to them, hoping magically they become this well-known brand. Well, people become well-known by building relationships and strengthening their connections and network and having one-to-one conversations. That's how you're going to build a brand to the point where people are just knowing about you and coming to you. But it takes that building. So I would say the one-to-one conversations is the biggest lead nurturing difference between usually email and Facebook.
And I think we forget the word connection. There are two parts that are connecting. So it's not just them encountering your content. They're actually reading your content. It's a message that they actually need to hear at that point in time. And I think that that's where people, as they're building their strategies, like to your point, they're like, well, I've got these 12 different content places that people can find me. That doesn't mean that they're connecting with it. Like I have about half dozen email newsletters that I never open, that I receive and never open because I'm like, God, this subject line doesn't speak to me. But there might be a subject line once a year that does speak to me because I'm actually dealing with that challenge, that issue at that point in time. And I think we sometimes forget in the content space, I'm actually serving people ideas in this way. And so that's what I can offer. The other part of the equation, though, is their need. They have to need that material in order to connect with it. And I think that's where we sometimes lose track. And I think, too, what you're describing for Facebook, especially in the group, it's a way of, I keep thinking of it as a waiting room. So you're keeping your leads, you're keeping them warm, but you're also in a position to then do some research so that when you do the one-on-one engagement, it's informed, because you also that it's so key. Again, it's about speaking specifically to their concerns and their challenges. I use HoneyBook to keep track of the notes and the connections that I have with people, but that's limited to what they share with me when we are in conversation, like when I do book a follow-up call or in the discovery call. But there's a whole other world that they're dealing with that they might be sharing then in a Facebook group, right? Like someone else might start a conversation that then something interesting pops up and it's like, oh, actually, I have here's an offer that speaks to, this challenge that you're having. I also love client feedback in these spaces as market research. This fall, I launched 3 new properties, which are just spot on because they're exactly what people have been presenting with me for the last year. So I think that's a great way to get to stay connected to people who are already interested in you. They like your vibe, they like what you have to offer, and then just listen to what they're saying in this space, and then create products and offers that serve this community. They're already engaged, so half the work is already done. I'm just, yeah, again, I'm waking up to Facebook. This is such a treasure trove. And I think I kind of have these similar services, but spread out over different places. The idea of having it concentrated on one platform that I have on my phone, like when I'm doom scrolling and can engage with potential leads at the same time, that to me is efficient content creation. So, what is one thing that businesses can do today to start improving their Facebook presence? Oh, you were frozen. I couldn't tell if you were frozen or bored.
No, you were frozen as well. You were frozen as well.
Okay. Well, I just dropped some incredible nuggets about how fascinating and brilliant you were. You'll have to watch the replay. I don't want to waste time recapping it. So I'm basically sold. So you sold me on this. I know I've been sleeping on this platform. I'm awake to it now. I'm going to do all kinds of changes to my Facebook at the end today. But what is one thing that businesses can do to start improving their Facebook presence?
I would say make sure it is fluid to whatever you're doing currently. So it's not like it doesn't, sometimes people make it not fit their brand essentially.
Yeah.
Like they don't, they're like, I don't know Facebook. They only know it for the way they've shown up personally, right? So they're not sure, do I show up personally in that same way? So what I'd say is if you're utilizing it for business, make it look like your business.
Yeah.
Don't try to hide your business. Like some people make sure your profile photo is a picture of just you. If your brand is just you, make sure it's just you. Your face is clear. I can see your eyes. Make sure cover photo says something about the offer you have or the value you provide or the transformation you're offering or the product you're selling so that it's obvious. And what I mean by fluid is if you're on Instagram showing up a certain way, have that same messaging, that brand messaging. Your branding. Your branding should be similar to the way you're showing up on LinkedIn and on Instagram. So for example, if you are in the fitness space and you're specifically serving mothers on Instagram, but then I go to your Facebook profile and you have a different title. Like on Instagram, you're a fitness coach, and then you're a health expert, and you're not specifically with mothers. Sometimes there's messaging that's misaligned. So make sure all your platforms have a fluid journey. So whether I go to your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, or receive an email from you, it's all you. Like I can identify it's you. That messaging is clear. It's all optimized the same way. Your branding is matching the way you're showing up on all platforms. Use that same concept on Facebook. Don't make it different on every platform. Because then there's just going to be a break in your brand, which again doesn't help with the trust, because the trust is going to be that repetitive, trustworthy message.
Absolutely.
So for businesses getting started, make sure you're not hiding your brand. You're not hiding it. Some people that are used to using Facebook personally are a bit worried about the transition of, oh, do I add potential clients? Do I keep my friends and family? That's always a conversation I have with my clients that are in the stage of getting optimized on Facebook. And everybody's situation is a bit different.
Yeah.
And there's some people that stay connected. There's some people that completely clear out their list. So just make sure that it's very clear that somebody can discover you and knows exactly what you do. I would say within a minute or less. That's how you know your profile is optimized. I should know as soon as I go to your business page, your Facebook group, or your personal profile, I should know within a minute what value you could provide.
I'm a huge fan of keeping my friends and family as my followers because A, it saves time when I visit family telling them what I do. They know because they're following. And B, your friends and family, they may not it's almost impossible to convert friends and family, but they are great referrals. Always think of your ideal client and your referral network, your social media audience. You're playing to both, and business will come from both sides. So, Emily, I thank you so much for educating me in the world of Facebook. If you can get unfrozen again, can you tell people where they can learn more about you and what you do?
Yes. So I am a lead generation strategist. My specialty is around organic marketing on Facebook. So if you are an established coach, consultant, or done for you service provider, and you are either wanting to get started on Facebook and you're not there yet, or you're already on Facebook, but you're not generating leads on a consistent, predictable basis, then we definitely can chat. I will pass over my links to book in a strategy call, 30-minute session to determine how myself and my team may be able to support you. My most, I guess you could say, popular offer for this quarter of the year, the end of 2024, is my 90-minute intensives. It's perfect for people that are wanting to leverage Facebook in 2025 as a part of their marketing plan.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's me. That's what I do, and that's how I can serve you.
Amazing. Oh, well, I, for one, have learned so much. I can only imagine what someone's going to get from you in 90 minutes. I mean, this is just, we were talking earlier about, Facebook, all social media platforms are going through an evolution, right? Like LinkedIn today is not the same as LinkedIn 5 years ago. So Facebook today is definitely not the Facebook of 5, 10, 15 years ago. And I think because like half the world's population uses Meta platforms every month, Meta is listening to people. They're listening and they're paying attention to how we're using these platforms. So I feel like with social media and the algorithms, if you're not happy with it, it's like the weather. Wait 5 minutes, it's going to change.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
yes. Well, thank you so much for share those links. Maybe share them wherever these are airing. We're going to end the stream soon, but thank you so much for sharing your wealth and knowledge. And I love that. I'm so grateful that you are specializing in Facebook because soon I will be too. Have a great one.
Yes, thank you so much. Bye bye.